Welcome and thank you for joining us on Birth Mother Matters in Adoption with Kelly Rourke-Scary and me, Ron Rains, where we delve into the issues of adoption from every angle of the adoption triad.
Do what's best for your kid and for yourself, because if you can't take care of yourself, you're definitely not going to be able to take care of that kid, and that's not fair.
And I know that my daughter will be well taken care of with them.
Don't have an abortion. Give this child a chance.
All I could think about was needing to save my son.
My name is Kelly Rourke-Scary. I'm the Executive Director, President, and co-founder of Building Arizona Families Adoption Agency, the Donna K. Evans Foundation, and creator of the You Before Me campaign. I have a bachelor's degree in family studies and human development and a master's degree in education with an emphasis in school counseling. I was adopted at the age of 3 days, born to a teen birth mother, raised in a closed adoption, and reunited with my birth mother in 2007. I have worked in the adoption field for over 15 years.
And I'm Ron Rains. I've worked in radio since 1999. I was the co-host of 2 successful morning shows in Prescott, Arizona. Now I work for my wife, who's an adoption attorney, and I'm able to combine these 2 great passions and share them on this podcast.
If you enjoy this podcast, make sure to rate and review us on whatever platform you use to listen to us, and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Look for AZ Adopt Podcast.
Today we're going to talk about Mother's Day and Birth Mother's Day. I think that Mother's Day is, obviously a very commonly regarded and highly celebrated holiday, and some term it a Hallmark holiday, but for all of us mothers out there, as it's fast approaching on the 9th, it is a special day. And, for us that have children, and a lot of them, it is a very busy day. Mm-hmm. And it's a wonderful day. It's something to look forward to. I actually brought my youngest biological child home on Mother's Day.
Oh, how cool.
So that was the best Mother's Day of all. Yes. That was. And so so it's a very exciting day. National Birth Mother's Day is also May 9th.
So no matter what type of mom you have, celebrate her.
Correct. And the podcast is going to be a little longer than that, Ron.
I tried. All right. Thanks, everybody.
So the reason it's so important is when you give birth to a child, you are no longer not a mother. You join the club of motherhood. You have, sealed your membership. You are a mother. Whether or not you raise a child is a choice that many, do and don't. And that's why adoption is so beautiful. But when you join that rank of motherhood, I always tell birth mothers that I work with, you're still a mother, you're still a mom. My birth mother, her status didn't change when she placed me for adoption. She still had all of her hopes and dreams and wishes for me to grow up and do amazing things that all moms do when they're carrying their child and they are dreaming of the future and what their child is going to do. And when a woman lovingly places her baby for adoption, those hopes and dreams and wishes don't go away. They're still there. And she's still thinking of that child and she's still wondering how they're doing. I know that when I reunited with my birth mother, she would tell me that on my birthday, she would, walk outside and have a moment, look at the sky and try to send me like a subliminal message saying happy birthday, which was really kind of funny in the end because she never knew if it was the 13th or the 14th.
So did she go out both days just in case, cover her bases?
Well, I was born in the middle of the night, so I think it was kind of confusing. And she was young when it happened.
Right.
She was 16. And so when we reunited, she would just say kind of happy birthday. And she'd ask me every year, which one is it? Is it 13th or the 14th? Because it was middle of the night. I'm not sure exactly what time it was. And so, that was for my birthday, but still that's when she first became a mother. So when you have your first child and you join that rank of motherhood, celebrating that once a year is really important. And for families who have had a child placed with them and have an open adoption, that's a really good time to not only celebrate the adoptive mother, but to celebrate the birth mother as well. And, little things can still go a really long way, whether it's a card or even an e-card, lots of pictures, having your child make a picture. Those kind of things are precious. And they can carry sometimes women who are struggling without having their child. They're struggling and they have their moments where it's very difficult. They may see a child that, has the same color hair as them. And as they look at the child, on the street, they may wonder, like, is that what my child looks like now? Or, is that her? I know my mother used to say that she would always look at little blonde haired girls and wonder, like, but we had a closed adoption. So there wasn't a picture or frame of reference.
Right.
And so I think with Mother's Day and National Birth Mother's Day approaching, I think it's really important to prepare for that and make it really special. The year that we've come off of with COVID has just been really hard for so many people. And Mother's Day is a great thing to celebrate, and it's fun. And I think it's important for both the birth mother and the adoptive mom to be able to congratulate each other and to celebrate that if possible in some way, even for a few minutes together, whether it's on the phone, a phone call, and just acknowledge each other and the important role that each other is playing in each other's lives. And I think that that's really something that maybe we, after the years go by and adoption has occurred in the past, that may not be on the forefront of someone's thoughts. And, this podcast is really to gear it so that we can kind of put this in your head now. And as it approaches, it's giving you time to plan and to think about maybe what you can do to make this Mother's Day or National Birth Mother's Day, whichever, or celebrate both.
Extra special. Both, yeah.
Yeah. And again, some things that you can do or send a gift. A lot of what we get is gifts that come to the agency, and then we give them to the birth mothers. Mm-hmm. If they don't have an address, which most people don't. If they have a communication open line, which a lot of ours do as well, where they can send, e-cards through, a special email, or they can do a special Skype or FaceTime. Planning out those things are really special. You can take handprints of your kiddo and upload them to your computer and scan those as well and have your child draw on them. Again, those are beautiful gifts to give a birth mother. And for birth mothers out there, I think it's important to recognize the adoptive mothers too. They're just as important as, they're raising a child, and acknowledging them is going to help them understand that you are grateful for them and you are able to recognize that they are doing a good job and they're very important in the upbringing of the child that you share together.
Well, I think it is important to recognize each other and hopefully have the child recognize both also as both being their mother, because we've talked so many times about the adoption triad, and the adoption triad falls apart without any one element of that. The adoptee, the adoptive mother, and the birth mother, it just falls apart. So
right.
It is vital, and it's vital for people to recognize these are both your mother. I think it's beautiful. I really do. And I think anything that they can do to acknowledge both the birth mother and the adoptive mother, it's awesome.
There are circumstances where there may be some jealousy, or, the birth mother may be jealous that the adoptive mother gets to spend the time with the child that she doesn't, and she gets to be there for all the firsts and have that quality time. And the adoptive mother may be jealous that she is biologically connected to the child, and she got to carry the child, and she birthed the child, and she will forever have the genealogy and lineage of the birth mother. Mm-hmm. And so they both have something that could potentially be envied by the other. And so I think that it's important to recognize that. And if that's something that you're struggling with on either side, that's what counselors are for, because that can really get in the way of a beautiful relationship. And it's something that isn't uncommon, and it's something that can be worked through. Mm-hmm. If we were, and we are going to be fast approaching it, but if we were fast approaching Father's Day and you were talking with a birth father and you were sharing the same sentiments with him, what are some struggles that you think you might see?
The same jealousy type issues that we talked about with birth mothers. I think that gets into a guy's head, especially guys, as we've talked about in the past, are fragile and proud, which is a weird combination. And I think they're easily hurt by realizing that this son is biologically attached, or this daughter, I'm thinking of my own circumstances, but is biologically attached to this other man, or that this other man will be the one kind of teaching this boy or girl, baseball and things like that. So I can see where the jealousy would be there, and maybe birth Mother's Day and Mother's Day, and then later on birth Father's Day and Father's Day will be a good time for them to maybe come together. And these open adoptions, it's so important that you keep those lines of communications open between the birth parents and the adoptive parents to hopefully mend those jealousies and keep them. You're right. Counseling is a great option.
Yeah, I think it's much better. I know that there was a famous professor that has since unfortunately passed away, but he had that quote that said, if there's an elephant in the room, address it. And I think that's really important because, if you visually think about it, if there's an elephant in the room, you can't see past the elephant because that's all you see. And so if you have this topic or this issue and it's hindering your ability to really have this relationship that you want, why wouldn't you want to address it? Why wouldn't you want to even maybe talk to the adoptive mom or the birth mother and say, hey, I'm really struggling with this. Is there something that you can say or do or help me so that I can move past it? Because I don't want this to be a hindrance in our relationship.
That's a great idea.
I think if we can have one strong takeaway from COVID, it's that you really never know what's around the corner. You never know what's going to happen next. Mm-hmm. And, so many of us didn't see the COVID epidemic coming and, left us without toilet paper. And, so many people got sick and we lost loved ones. And so many things happened that were just devastating and horrible. And so if we can kind of come back together and fix those things that are broken and address the issues that we're struggling on. And if we can really mend things that have been hurting us or bothering us or disturbing us in the past and present, why not do it now? Make this the Mother's Day that you join hands with the other mother in your child's life and have that relationship that you wanted from the minute that the two of you met each other.
We have a pregnancy crisis hotline available 24/7 by phone or text at 623-695-4112, or you can reach us on our toll-free number at 1-800-340-9665. We can make an immediate appointment with you to get you to a safe place, provide food and clothing, and help you get started on creating an Arizona adoption plan, or just give you more information. Check out our blogs on our website at azpregnancyhelp.com and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter by looking for AZ Adopt Podcast. If you enjoy this podcast, make sure to rate and review us on whatever platform you use to listen to us. Birth Mother Matters and Adoption was written and produced by Kelly Rourke-Scary and edited by me. Thanks go out to Grapes for letting us use their song I Don't Know as our theme song. Join us next time on Birth Mother Matters and Adoption. For Kelly Rourke-Scary, I'm Ron Rains, and we'll see you then.